Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of HuWn Wanderer of Ru. I'm Ultraviolent 4 and we are in Lair. Still only in Lair. Every time I think I'm gonna wake up back in the dungeon. When I was here, I wanted to be there, and when I was there, all I could think about was getting back into Zot. Been here 4 episodes now, waiting for a rune, getting softer. Each time I looked around, the walls moved in a little tighter. So there is a lab on this floor. We don't have any magic mapping, so we don't have any good way to find it except for trying to pay attention to the messages and then hopefully being able to get it before it times out. Mostly the messages aren't very useful. So if you get very far or very distant, which is what you get most of the time, it tells you absolutely nothing. When it says distant, that means it's actually kind of close. And then if you get nearby, then obviously you're in luck. So let's see. It's distant, so we are relatively close. This looks like it's some sort of ice themed vault. I'm going to pick this stuff up, and actually my auto pickup options, I'm going to turn magical staves on that I don't know. This could be wizardry, could be Staff of Cold. That's not one that I really want though. I'm going to get into this corner so we can fight these guys one at a time. We have a point of RC, so I'm not too afraid of them. Although if there is an ice dragon somewhere in there, I guess I am a bit afraid. Okay. So it was distant when I was around here, and I think I've just moved down a little bit and turned to very distant. So maybe it is over here somewhere. Alright, I hope this isn't a nice dragon. I'm trying to stay away from it by going up. Okay, this is a lot of blink frogs at once, that's not good. Okay. I was hoping I'd be able to put some fire down, but no. Ru's making a new sacrifice for us. This might be the perfect time for us to learn Apocalypse, because we might want to Apocalypse now. Okay, let's see what we got. So we could sacrifice an eye. This causes you to be inaccurate. It's basically the equivalent, or it actually tells you, of wearing an amulet of inaccuracy. Ru considers this modest, apparently, and it would take us to 5 points of piety. That wouldn't be the worst, particularly once you're more skilled with the weapon. Your accuracy is not a big issue, and particularly if we want to use Orb of Destruction, which won't ever miss due to accuracy, and we know we have Spellforged Servitor, which again wouldn't care about this. So that's not the worst decision. We can sacrifice our stealth, which means our foes will always notice us and will prevent us from having any ranks in the stealth skill. This is also modest, which will take us to 5 points of piety. I probably quite like this. We haven't trained any stealth that I'm aware of, and being noticed by enemies isn't that big a deal. We're not intending to sneak up on things. Or our essence, which will make our casting slightly disrupted. So I assume that's basically like a casting penalty. So it's the opposite to wizardry, which I don't want to make. I think it's probably stealth. It's between sacrifice and eye and stealth. And I think I'd rather have enemies notice us than having an accuracy penalty. Because you've got to remember that the accuracy penalty will also apply to spells that rely on that. So for instance, Iron Shot will be more likely to miss. So let's go stealth. Do we really want to make it? Yep. Okay. I'm going to put a fire below us. And And let's see. We've gone to 5 piety, so we now have the ability for Apocalypse. Got to have 8 mana though, so remember that one. I like the description for this. It reveals Rue's truth to your enemies, dealing severe damage to all enemies in line of sight. And then anything that doesn't just die to it will be left paralyzed, slowed, or have their magic drained. And here, its damage increases with your piety and experience level. This is a really strong ability. It drains you quite heavily, but that's at the cost of just killing everything on your screen, or coming very close. I'm going to eat, I guess, a meat ration. Okay, I've got to take this really slowly. Don't want to just randomly die to these blink frogs. There's still 4 of them. Maybe I do just want to Apocalypse here. And then, because if I'm really keen on finding this lab, then I don't want to rest. So I'd really rather not take any more damage than this. All right, let's do it. Let's go Apocalypse now. Bam, we kill everything. Makes a lot of noise. So that's probably the downside of that when we're trying to find the lab. We've just alerted a lot of things to our presence. We get exhausted, like all of Rue's abilities, and you see, if you kill a bunch of things, the drain actually isn't that bad, but it's not something that you can spam. Okay, you're gonna walk in the fire? You did, again. Staves to 8. You might wonder why I'm training staves. That is because we found this really nice Lajatang. A +9 Lajatang of Zom's Generosity. That's a great name. It's a flaming Lajatang, but it's more this bit, RFRC MR+, that's making me want to train staves for that. And also that Lajatangs are just really good weapons when you consider that they only require 14 skill points to use. Can I make you walk into it? No. You're too clever. So I was hoping, based on our messages, that the lab was roughly where we are now, but it doesn't seem like it. We need another notification to give us an idea. And we've got enough gold for our Book of Flames. Okay. Well, we want to focus on getting the lab first before we worry about going back upstairs. It's nearby. Okay, so it's got to be here somewhere. If I switch to the Lajatang, this guy should have basically no chance. Yeah, 1% chance to petrify. Cool. We are pretty drained at the moment, I guess. We're more drained than I thought. Oh no, we're not really. Okay, I thought staves were trained higher than this. This is crazy. Where are you, lab? We're nearby. We were just over here when you said nearby. I don't want to go down here if there's an ice dragon, please. No, it doesn't look like it's here anyway. Keep heading right. It's now distant. Oh, is it over the other side of this wall? Maybe? I was about to say we don't have digging, but we actually can't use any evocables. So I guess we got to loop around. Maybe it's in here. Yes, okay. Get in. Alright. Speaking of walls closing in, here's the lab. I'm not too afraid of the Minotaur. Unless he's got some sort of ranged attack, we can just use our Conjure Flame to sort of cheese him. And we also have Mephitic Cloud, which should be able to confuse him as well. Here's some lava snakes. If we just slowly shoot our bow at them. I don't really care about wasting my arrows. Okay, we got one. Let's heal up again. but I don't want to randomly die to them. There are 3 in there. Okay, we'll shot the paralyzed one. This is so nerve-wracking. 0 skill bow though, for the win. Okay, I think we're good here. Alright. Is it worth using one of our 2 flight to get an ID, an immolation, some food, and remove curse? Probably it is. And a wand of acid that we cannot use. So we'll leave that one. And we are looking for the black tiles. Seems like we want to go the other way. Nope. Princess is in another castle. Ah, here we go. Black. Okay, I don't like to go too fast in here because on more than one occasion I have just walked straight into the Minotaur. Looks like it's somewhere in here, although I don't think there was a choice to go in that way. Was there? Well, maybe. Yeah, okay, here we go. So here's our door. He is wielding the scythe, the +5 scythe's finisher. So it's a speed scythe. Interesting. I assume he went behind this corner. Let's put down a flame. We're gonna need to step back. And I wonder if we can check him out. What else has he got? He's wearing a jeweled chainmail. Okay. Because I was just thinking, if I Mephitic Cloud him, and he falls in the water and drowns, I don't want to lose any artifact rings or anything like that he has. But it doesn't look like he does. So I'm going to try the Mephitic. No. Okay, while he's in the flame, let's go get him. Could net him. I don't know how afraid I should be of finisher. Probably I should respect it, so let's throwing net him. Good. Yeah, we're not going to train polearms for finisher. Let's say a scythe is a really bad base type of weapon. This chainmail's artifact, I may as well find out. +1, okay, no thank you. I hit Control A to turn my auto pickup off, so I don't step on here and then pick up a whole bunch of things. This way I can actually test them one at a time. Gonna start by IDing the leather armor. It's a +1 leather armor. While +2 slay is nice, a +1 leather armor is a step down in terms of our defenses. So I'm not going to do that. Test these. That's a Staff of Earth. They're both Staffs of Earth. I think I'll at least take one out of here because there are potential things you can do with your Staff of Earth if you find Lee's Rapid Deconstruction. Okay, we've got a few different books here. Let's see what we've got. This one has some summoning in it. That's pretty cool. Particularly if we're going to go Spellforge Servitor, we're going to have to train some summoning. So Summon Mana Viper would be nice to go along with that. We've also got, I don't remember, let's just hit M and have a look at our screen. So what's new here? We've got some hexes, I guess. Dazzling Spray. Poisonous Vapors is in here. Regeneration spell we definitely want. And then we've got some random things like Hydroform or Invis. Venom Bolt too, but I don't really want to train Poison just for Venom Bolt. Okay, so ones we definitely want are Regeneration. Anything else here? No, so I'm going to carry this out. I'm going to drop the Artifact Chainmail along with the what's that thing called? The Staff of Earth. which is there. Okay, let's immediately learn summon butterflies. It's a really good spell to have just to try to distract things if you need to try to make space between you and enemies. And we're also going to memorize regeneration. Where are you? There are too many things here. There. Yep. Cool. I'm going to make a macro for that one too. Okay, we can't really cast it yet. We need to train probably a little bit of charms and necromancy to get that going. You don't need too much to have it castable at low power, but yeah, you do need a bit. I think I'm going to wait though. I'd rather just get staves going. That was a new amulet. Why didn't we pick it up? Not sure. Do we have auto pickup? Okay, it was off for some reason. Not sure why. Oh right, I do know why, because I turned it off. So I didn't pick up all the items. When you do that, remember to turn it back on afterwards. Is there an ice dragon? Actually wouldn't mind an ice dragon scales if we got lucky enough. That's a lindworm. Does significant amounts of fire damage. So I think we chuck on our Lagitang of Order, which gives us a point of RF, and we go fight him. And it still hurts. Ow. It's an ice devil and an ice statue to get a book and an amulet. We have a ranged way of just slowly and casually shooting arrows at the ice statue. It can't regenerate, so we can slowly shoot it forever, whereas the ice devil is a bit harder because that guy will regenerate. We can keep trying, I guess. Should probably be using dot, so if I miss, the arrows don't fly into the deep water. Slowly but surely. Give me those items. Gonna use our final... Actually, maybe we can power leap across. We'll have to see. Using dot again to actually... So the tiles, when you use dot on a ranged weapon, your projectile will land on the exact tile you specified. There's a pretty nice interaction with our Berserkitis that I haven't mentioned, but if we have a look at our abilities for draw out power, you can use it to get rid of slowness. So it's pretty good because Berserkitis will trigger, you hit really hard with your Berserk, and then you can use draw out power to remove the slow. I don't think we're going to be able to leap. I think it's too far. Yeah, no, we can't get over the water. What if we go... I think this is the same distance, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to fly over there, use our remaining potion of flight. And if I could, I'd like to just grab this stuff, then quickly fly back over, so we don't have to use that hatch. Okay, good. It's a book of Necromancy. Animate Dead, Animate Skeleton are both very good, but I'd rather just not. Using Animate Skeleton can get really annoying, even though it's really powerful and is insanely good value for a 1 mana spell. I feel like this character is strong enough in that I just don't have to worry about that, but I probably should if I want to be an optimal player. Let's just learn it. I should learn it. Let's ID these amulets though. Don't want that one. Gourmand. I'd rather just have the extra strength, to be honest. Not worried about food. Okay, let's do it. Let's learn to animate skeleton. And I'll put a macro on my butcher key, which animates skeletons. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, let's train a little bit of necromancy now. We're gonna have to train it for regen anyway, so it doesn't hurt to do a little bit and get animate skeleton castable. Even with our poison, those spiny frogs just really hurt. This is a lot of things. I've got a little bit of a kill hole here between the plants. So long as the monsters don't just kill the plants. I'm not clever enough for that. Okay, and we have already worked off our drain. So that drain we got from using Apocalypse. Oops. Why was there a frozen imp? Is there another cold themed vault here? Also, just look how insane animate skeleton is. This is a level 1 spell. That's just crazy. Whenever you see it, if you're capable of casting, you should use it. We got the dragon vault. So we're gonna have to fight a fire dragon, but we potentially will get fire dragon scales. Also, we might see swamp dragons in there, so swamp dragon scales would be good too. I'm charging straight in because I like the idea of doing this while I have an army of skeletons with me, rather than just being on my own. Oh, okay, there's a swamp dragon. I have our poison. Also, there's my berserkitis. Okay, we did get swamp dragon scales. That's really nice. Want to back up. Don't want to fight a fire dragon while slowed. Good. Oh, why do you hurt so much? I accidentally just hit the plant. That was not clever. Thankfully, my Komodo dragon skeleton got me out of that one. Also, why are we losing to a water macassin? I want to walk out. I should not be healing there. If the fire dragon comes to investigate while we're on 20 HP, that's not going to be pretty. Okay. Ow. Let's just go upstairs. We'll heal. Let's not stay here. Okay, in this case, now that we no longer have allies, I think I'd rather do the rest of the floor first. So I'm going to X this out. Hello, Hydra. It's been a surprisingly low number of Hydras in this lair. Okay, we got a Hydra skeleton. Never mind, we're going in. Shift X Control E removes the exclusions. Let's go. Hydra skeletons are really strong. And I probably should preemptively pull out my Lajatang because it gives us a point of RF. There you are. I want to make sure that I'm not fighting him over the deep water, because if he leaves the fire dragon scales, I want to have it. How likely are we to die here? Probably not that likely. With a point of RF, we block half of the fire damage. I think these guys can do about 80 or so. I don't know if the bot's working anymore. Fire dragon. No, the bot's still broken. So I think he can probably do about 40 damage to us. So if we took another fire blast, now we would draw out power. And Rue's offering us more sacrifices. I must have missed that. Cool, we got it. And we got scales too. So let's grab that, and let's grab Swamp Dragon. Both of those are good. Alright. Interesting. Let's do a bit of fashion. Trying some new outfits. Very exciting. Okay, I should be wearing boots. I'm carrying those around for no reason. So we can try a few things. At the moment we're 11 AC, 11 EV. Swamp Dragon Scales is the same, and it gives us our poison. So it would allow us to wear the Ring of Wizardry. Fire Dragon Scales takes us to 12, 13. So it's a little bit less, but it gives us full RF. And then when we're wearing this Lajatang, when we have the Lajatang, we have full RF and RC. That makes our spells a lot harder to cast though. But then we can wear Wizardry. No, we can't, because this doesn't give RF. So it doesn't give our poison. So I think I want to go the Swamp Dragon Scales. Not that this is a consideration, but Swamp Dragon Scales has a higher GDR than the Ringmail does. So if we're getting exactly the same stats, as in they're both AC 11, EV 15, then you would rather have the one with GDR. GDR is guaranteed damage reduction. The reason I say not to worry about it is because people often make a really big deal out of it, when really AC is the thing you should care more about. Only worry about GDR if it's like this, it's a tiebreaker. It only applies to melee attacks as well, which is also why it's not that significant, because your GDRs are relevant in terms of your any spells that hit you. Alright, so we can put Wizardry back on. That makes Regeneration be pretty castable, and everything else, Mephitic, goes back to being good. We do have enough gold for any of these books. How for spell levels? We've got 3. So if we want to learn Fireball, we actually have to train more spellcasting. So I guess I'm not in a hurry to go grab that book. The reason I'm still carrying the Fire Dragon Scales is because it's still really good. It's something that we might ultimately end up in. And we might come across a volcano or something like that, in which case we want all the fire resistance we can get. This is the Dog Vault. The scariest thing in here is that you'll find Raiju, who do elect damage. Ooh. I should have my Lajatang on. Not that one, that one. Nope, that one. Oh boy. We just wasted a lot of turns there switching between different weapons. That's not clever. Okay, let's back up to heal. We want to have the RF against the Hellhounds. We're dying to this guy. He can do up to 34. We're on 35, so we can take one more shot. Got him. Perfectly calculated. Get away from that Hellhound. Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, I've got more sacrifices. Keep forgetting. Okay, we're pretty much healed. Didn't we sacrifice stealth? I thought we did. Yeah, we did. You cannot be stealthy, but a few different things there. The Hellhound and the Catopolis didn't see us. So I guess the way that works is just that you can't have any stealth skill. Not that monsters will always actually see you. Alright, here we go. So we got Courage. I don't like this one. It's not the worst. It's considered an incredible sacrifice, so it's probably over the top once you already are at 5 piety. Once you get here, you can be more picky about just doing a couple of smaller ones to get you up to 6. You don't need to do a massive one like this. So the way courage works is you become terrified of dangerous monsters. So when you think about here, when you get monsters that are yellow or red, and particularly if you have multiples of those, you start getting slaying penalties. I don't like that one very much personally, but I know some other people don't mind it. Sacrificing essence. Supposedly this is a trivial sacrifice, so it gives you minus 10% magic points. That's not a big deal. And sacrifice purity, which would be another 2 dex. Which is again apparently modest. I feel like again I don't mind going... Yeah, I don't mind just losing my dex. Alright, let's do that one. Having low MP is not a huge deal, but then if you consider that we're going to want to keep at least 8 magic points for Apocalypse, and if we're going to be casting spells, we're going to want as much as we can get. So let's go Purity. Yep, cool. And there's a bot finally answering. Ancestor. What? Why is it telling us about HEP? I think the bot is just gone totally crazy. Okay, we want to be careful not to stand in the calcifying dust. He's been blinded by Rue, so we can probably just fight him as long as we keep moving out of the dust. There we go. Necromancy to 3. That's probably enough. Probably worth... Let's turn on Spellcasting, because we're going to need that for the fire spells. And maybe Charms as well. So this is a lot of things. I know that will hurt some of you, but you'll be okay. This is getting sketchy. Get in this choke point. So we're only fighting one at a time. Pull out our Lajatang so we get RF here. I probably should be using this full time now. Yeah, because this is a +9 Lajatang. That's a better weapon than the longsword. And we're at 12 skill versus 10. So yeah. This is going to be our primary weapon now. There we go. Short bow Lajatang. Good. Do I want to drop the longsword? I guess. Okay. The other thing that's relevant to note is that with longswords, in situations where we're trying to just escape from things, riposte can trigger our berserkitis. So it's probably better, just for that reason, if these two weapons are similar, to use the Lajatang. But yeah, this one would definitely do more damage. I don't know which side he's on. He's on that one. Okay, good. Again, death yaks are animals, so they will unwisely walk into fire. That hurts so much. Let's put another thing down. And the bot is telling us more stuff. It's telling us everything about HEP ancestors. That's great. Thank you, bot. We're not playing HEP, we're playing Rue. Are you crazy, bot? See what I did there? That was pretty weak, actually. But I did it. We fell asleep. Okay. Don't want to mess around with that or club. We've got 4 potions of curing now. So, I don't know. That curing potion is not a huge deal. As far as scrolls, we don't know. We have so many identify. It's just worth doing this, I think. It's magic mapping. Yeah, still haven't seen any Raiju yet. They're always in here though. Well, I feel like they usually are. Let's go more int. Feel more clever. Lajatang is really powerful. Okay. And I keep forgetting that with this wizardry, regeneration is really castable. So I should be using that in fights. Just throw it on. It's really weak though, so it runs out quickly. Really quite quickly. That's okay. Get some skeleton friends to help us out here. Okay, no Raiju. Oh no, there it is. Elect damage is really scary when you don't have any Arlec. Alright, we want to get the Hydra. It's only got 2 heads left because we've been chopping them off, so that's okay. And I think we killed the Raiju. If I see the Raiju now, I probably want to Apocalypse, but looks like it's dead. I'm going to put my regen on. I'm just walking away from this. I don't want to berserk the polar bear yet when I'm on this low HP. Ooh. Okay, good. We got a tile to make some flames. Okay, the Hydra's afraid of the fire. Nope. It's like they all got brave together and then they walked in at the same time. He's just ticking out to the fire though. I'm glad he didn't zerk. Okay, this kind of looks a lot worse than it is. It looks so wrong, but is also right. Oh yeah! HuWn, not afraid of low HP. Oh yeah! At any point there, I could draw out power to heal. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like that situation looked worse than it was. I wasn't actually afraid I was going to die there. I don't know, maybe I'm silly. Maybe I was about to die. Here's an artifact ring. Minus telly is not actually that bad a quality on a ring, because switching rings or taking a ring off if you want to teleport is a really fast action. Also in Zot 5 it lets you walk through permanent teleport traps, so that's nice if we ever get to Zot, but this ring is really not that impressive. It's giving us Ice RN some Inten decks, so I'm just going to drop that. That is a lot of yaks. This kind of makes me want to have Song of Slaying. I always want Song of Slaying though. I got Charms to 3, is that correct? Yeah, so we got 3 Charms and 3 Necromancy. Regeneration's pretty good. It's at 9% fail, although it does not have much spell power because we're kind of cheating with wizardry, but I think that's okay. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with this. Alright, and there's sometimes good loot in here. So, we might find something good in here. Again, I should pull him out of the deep water because I don't want to lose his scales if he drops one. Who knows? Maybe we want to do slime pits later and we don't have any arc corrosion. Brand weapon. There are no weapons we can brand. I'm just going to drop that actually. Maybe if we find another Lajatang, we can brand it. But I can't imagine a Lajatang though I would want to use over this one. I mean, as good as a Vamp Lajatang would be, the resists on this thing are just nutty. Let's quickly just grab this gold. That's our Lair done. Checking our shopping list. Could go grab the Book of Flames, but we still can't cast... Oh, we have 6 spell levels. Alright, we can cast Fireball. Let's go grab that one then. Book of Flames. I'm going to take off the Book of Misfortune. The only reason I would want that is for confusion, but we're not going to do that. So let's memorize Fireball. Sticky Flame is also really good, but I can just fight things with my larger tank, so I'd rather just get Fireball for now. We'll put it on maybe C. And it's red and at 21% fail, so I'm going to need to train Fire Magic and Conjurations for this to work. Cool. So if you were triggered by the spell training before, this should be even worse. What you arguably could say is that I should just focus on getting staves to Mindalay and then worry about Fireball, but I'm not in a huge hurry to get staves to Mindalay. And then I guess we're going to head into Orc. We've got 3 points of MR, so I'm not afraid of being paralyzed to death, which is always nice. We haven't found Orc yet though, so we need to do a bit more dungeon. It's because we met a Yaktor pack. I remember. Not as scary. Oh boy. Okay, well, I think he has no more rocks left. Never mind, definitely has rocks left. Let's get away from him. Cyclopses are slow, so you can always employ the walk away strat, which is very powerful against them. Okay, it's too clever. Too clever to walk into fire. Can't get too cocky. While this character feels really strong, it only has 12 AC and 15 EV, which is not extraordinary defenses, and no shield. Rue is offering us more sacrifices. And I, again, significant and not something that I really want to do. Sacrifice Love apparently is only a significant sacrifice. This means that all creatures will become hostile. Often I don't mind doing this one, but it means that we will be locked out of the summoning school. And we have Sacrifice Arcana, which means we would lose access to the 3 spell schools are Ice, Necromancy, and Charms. We've got Necromancy for... Also, this is a significant sacrifice, so it's probably over the top. Because you saw I was modest. No, also significant. Okay. But this one that's modest will still take us to full piety, so we don't need to make a large one. We can just wait for better, smaller ones. In terms of Arcana, the ones that we're giving up are potentially Spectral Weapon. We've also got the Regen spell and Animate Skeleton. Ice I'm not really using, that's not a big deal. Do I want to lose Charms? I feel like not really, but it's not a huge deal, I guess. No, I think I'd rather wait. See, that's the thing. Once you get up to 5 piety, you can be more picky about rejecting them and get ones that you actually like. So I'm going to reject those. Sorry, Rue. Just wasn't meant to be. Oh yeah, also there are bees somewhere on one of the earlier floors. I'm going to go find them. Ain't afraid of bees anymore. Is it D7 really? No, that's not right. I'm just looking at my mini-map to look for where there's an unexplored portion, but I don't see it anywhere. Huh. Oh no, it was in Lair 1. Okay, I remember now. Let's go get the bees then. It is up in this top left corner. Okay. I still don't really want to fight them all in vision of the main bee, the queen. So I'm heading into this little natural kill hole here. Cool. Also, I'm fighting way too many bees at once. Even with our poison, that's way too cocky. So we head back to our kill hole. We are near starving. Good thing we just found 14 royal jellies. Okay, back to the dungeon. Let's find our orc entrance. Why do you hurt so much, frogs? I thought you would just step in it. But apparently animals aren't that dumb. If they can go around the fire, they will. I feel like sometimes they just walk into it because they really don't care. Seeing orcs, that's probably the entrance is over here somewhere. Yep, the Yaktors. If I shut this door, I can force them to come to me. 5 Yaktors and a gargoyle. This is absolutely terrifying as a bunch of enemies on D11. So I think this is the time where we just chuck out our apocalypse. This is the end. The end, my friend, the end. This is the end.